Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. We have another leak for a vehicle that is going to be coming to War Thunder, and also some data mines from Chabby to go through some of the other parts that have been added to, including some decals and other changes. Another thing I also want to mention is I hope you're enjoying the update. For me, I played a bit of it yesterday. Sorry I didn't stream, but I had a lot of stuff going on when it came to personal life and also my actual job, so I had to go and do stuff, but we will be streaming today, but we'll be playing Stalker 2 since it's coming out. So check that out in a few hours. And the general itinerary for this week for me, just to let you guys know, tomorrow and today we're going to be playing Stalker 2, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday we're going to be playing War Thunder, and then we'll kind of go from there. The reason why I haven't been able to play a ton of War Thunder so far is just because of the fact that I've had to do a lot of stuff in the personal side of things, but don't worry, everything will be back to normal today, and everything will be good. So, let's get into the leaks, let's get into the data mines, and as always, if you enjoy this content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's get started. To start off with, there are two giveaways which are going on right now. You have the War Thunder Xbox controller raffle, where there are 5 custom-designed War Thunder Xbox wireless controllers, and also 100 coupon codes that are there, and if you participate, you can obviously get either one of the custom-designed controllers. They look really cool. I would love to actually get one. I would just buy one, but I don't know how that works. Unfortunately, with the main prize per participating country, you have US, Germany, and the United Kingdom. I don't know if you're able to go from other nations, but obviously that's not fantastic. The prize winners will be notified by Microsoft by email, and you have to do it basically through the War Thunder promotional banner on console. So this is specifically for Xbox. There is also another giveaway going on, which is from Hori. Hori Hotas is doing a giveaway where you can win premium packs or a Hori Hotas flight control system and also mount. This one, you have basically 3 main prizes. You can get the Hori Hotas and the J37DI pack, a Hori Hotas and the AV8S Matador, and then the Hori Hotas and also the AH-64 Apache pack. And then 4th and 5th, we'll get the War Thunder Mustang pack, and 6th to 10th, we'll get the starter pack. And basically all you got to do is enter your details, your name, and your email, and then that's really it. You can get into the entries and get going. It's pretty cool. So 2 giveaways going on right now. Make sure to get involved. Now we can have a look at some of the data mines from Chabby, which give some additional information of what has kind of come to the game. And obviously with the big update yesterday, there was always like a micro update which comes after just to fix some bug fixes, which is something that we saw yesterday morning. And it also added a few other things as well that kind of turned up. There's been a ton of graphical screwing aroundings, I think is probably the way to put it. Obviously, that's one of the large features of this update, a bunch of new graphical options, which I'm wondering about. I think I'm going to talk about it maybe over the weekend, just when I've got a bit more time into it. I was able to play a few hours of War Thunder yesterday, getting the pages of history done, doing my dailies, and then just kind of trying different setups. I actually ended up upgrading to a 4070 Ti Super, because there was a really good deal on it near me, so ended up going to the place, sorting it out, and I've been testing it out in War Thunder, and generally the game does look a lot better, but the frame rate is a bit all over the place. And usually when it comes to ray tracing is supposed to take, 30-40% more power from what's going on, or take that much more to be able to run the stuff. But the problem I'm having is it's even more aggressive than that. Like, it's maxing out everything, even on medium ray tracing setup. So don't know if it's fully configured yet. I suppose we'll see at the end of the day and see what's kind of going on. They did add a new menu text, which is missile evasions, which is obviously for the test drive, a new radar selector text, which is the search and acquisition, then also new missile stat card text, which is TVIOG. The other part is if you want to have a look at the wallpapers, you can actually find them on the WT Snail Mine Discord. They're all there, courtesy of Banashida and they all look absolutely fantastic. And they're just really nice. I'm very happy that they've done 5 of them this time, including the 12th anniversary wallpaper, which looks really cool. I hope at some point they can bring back grindable wallpapers. If you didn't know, they actually went through a period where, and by the wallpapers I mean like the loading screens in the game, so the F14 and also the SU-25 have grindable loading screens, but for some reason they just stopped doing them. I don't really know why. It just seems quite odd. They also removed the variable VSync graphics option, which seems a little bit odd. And then also they added some new decals. So you have the new trophy decal for obviously the Firebirds box. So we'll probably hear about that pretty soon over the next period. And then also they added the ancient naval snail, which this is part of a long series of snails that they've added to the game. But unfortunately, they're just for PS Plus. Hopefully at some point we can get these snails on all of the other platforms. Really not a fan of exclusivity, as we've talked about before. And the basic reason is because, you know, it removes content from people to be able to push different areas. So for me, that ancient naval snail looks really cool, generally looks really nice, and it's great to see. There was also another smaller update today where there was a new settings text, which was SSAA is unavailable with TAA, DLSS, or TSR anti-aliasing selected. So you won't be able to do both at the same time. And then also, the AH-1F, they added transport data for World War mode, which will probably be used as a stand-in for the Iranian AH-1Js. Remember, the World War mode Iran-Iraq was kind of leaked a little bit ago, so it looks like that may coming sooner than we think. We also have another leak from the person who has leaked a bunch of stuff in the past, including the abandoned factory tank rework. By the way, there's some new voices on that map. Make sure to find them because they sound pretty cool. And then also the CV9035NL, the Finnish KV-1, the Tyran 6 T1E190, and then also stuff like the KV-1 1942, the KV-7 U13, the Murmansk, and then also the AV-8S. There's a bunch of leaks that this person has got right, and another one that has turned up is the HMS Tiger, the battle cruiser. Now you may be thinking, wait, hold up, we already have a cruiser that's the Tiger. Yes, we do. The post-World War II one, where Britain was going for something a little bit more fancy, a little bit cooler in terms of their turrets and their loading systems, but this is one of the more OG Tigers, the one from 1913. The HMS Tiger was a battle cruiser that was supposed to be built before the First World War. It technically was in commission in 1914, but it wasn't ready for service. It was actually a pretty heavily armored battle cruiser, which I know is kind of like an oxymoron because the whole point of a battle cruiser is it's supposed to be a battleship which is a bit faster, less armor, but same armament. But this one had a decent chunk to it. It had, you know, up to 229mm on its belt. The deck had up to 76, and the barbettes had about 229. So, you know, more than a lot of other battle cruisers around the time. But the main armament is pretty fun. 4 twin 13.5-inch guns. It also had some single 6-inch guns and also 3 inches and even some torpedoes on this thing, which is kind of interesting. Now, the vehicle itself didn't really do too much, if we're honest. It was part of a few battles during the First World War, but not many, and then eventually it was sold for scrap in February of 1932, basically because of stuff like the Washington Naval Treaty coming in, and the British deciding not to upgrade it to a new standard. So this is one of the ones which just kind of got sat there and didn't really do anything. The interesting thing about this vehicle is it's kind of an enigma because it's sole set up on its class. So that's why it's kind of away from the norm. The Queen Mary's actually came out before it, and then the Renowns came out after, but this one was the only battlecruiser that was actually authorized in the 1911 naval program. So it's kind of just sat there by itself, which is probably why not a ton of stuff was done with it after the First World War, and why they decided to renovate and upgrade a bunch of other stuff instead of it. Now, there's been a lot of leaks over the last period of time, but you've also got to remember, we're not actually that far away from the December update. We're probably about a month out at this point, and that is just crazy. So the time period between this update and next update is minuscule if they keep the same level of stuff going. And since this update was huge in terms of graphical improvements and also a bunch of other stuff added to the game, don't be surprised if the next one is too. I'm personally looking forward to it, just like I'm looking forward to getting stuck into the content in this update, just because there's a lot of stuff that I'm really interested in. Anyway, as always, hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank GMG Smiley, CD Beans, Chieftain Mike, EMN3 Galaxy, Tulio Pontecorvo, Brendan Quinn, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Ozzy Panzer, Alan Hacker, Liam Shear, Opium Prime, Lafouche, Sem, Aslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.